Hello viewers and listeners. Today is the last day of 2022, so happy New Year's to everyone watching. A couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago maybe, or nearly 2 years ago, I did a video on pruning macadamia trees to try to get them in a better shape. And often with these sort of videos of pruning, you don't sort of see the follow-up of what's happened in the meantime. So I thought it'd be good to do that. So this is a follow-up video of a video I think I did back in February of 2021. And so we'll see how it goes. We'll have a look at a few of the trees that were in that video. This one was in that video, but it was sort of not shown. This was one that was pruned, and it's got a much better shape now than what it had back then. No multiple stems coming up from the base, and getting a more of a tree shape. Let's go down and have a look at another one. Yeah, this one's similar, coming up from the one stem from the base, and it's got a fairly good shape as well. And we'll go have a look at a few more. They're all pretty similar to each other now in shape. So the goal of our pruning exercise was to get them so they have a bit of so not growing up from the base, multiple stems, and also it's easier, and sort of the first branch is coming roughly 1/2 meter to 1 meter above ground, so that it's easier for machines to get around them, and machines won't be getting caught up in them. So in the future it's easier to work with these trees. You can see today it's a fairly cloudy and overcast day, which is a bit of a downer. We've had some really good weather in the last week or so over Christmas. Nice and sunny and warm, and the trees have responded fairly well to that, because since that video in 2021, we've had a huge amount of rain. For example, this year we've had, I think, around about 4 meters of rain, which is almost twice the normal amount. And the trees have suffered as a result of that, and we've had a few casualties as well, which is unfortunate. None of these trees, which were planted in 2019, none of these trees have died, which is good, but a few of them have. I'm pretty sure these trees from now on, they'll actually featured in this video. So we'll have a look at them a bit more closely. They're all 849 variety trees. So the Hawaiian 849s. And they're doing pretty well. And this guy here was sort of featured in that video, I'm pretty sure of, and it got heavily pruned. And you can see now it's not part of the video, but you can see it's got a few nuts there growing, which is very promising. That's really nice. Yeah, so it's quite a tall tree now. It's sort of probably over 3 meters tall, which is good. So it's responded well. It's got a little bit of new growth on it, but a lot of its new growth has been hammered by leaf miner, which has been really bad. I think due to partially it's been worse because of the wet weather that we've had. This tree here also was pretty sure was featured in the video where we cut it back with the GTA and the clippers. It's responded well. It's doing well. This fellow here, not so tall, hasn't really done that much. It's got a few nuts though, which is nice. You can see there, which is also promising for the future. So after, 3 years? 2019, 2020, 21, 22, that's 4 years actually. This one's starting to, so it's been in for, well, I guess in May of next year it'll be in for 4 years. So time flies. Yeah, it's got a few nuts. Time flies. I guess that's the thing with with planting trees, macadamia trees. 6 years seems like a long time, whatever, but it actually happens. And if you plant them, then sooner or later they'll get older, and or later, and and then they'll start producing. This is another one of the trees that we would have pruned. I think I could do a pruning again because it's got a lot of branches coming inwards. So that maybe our next job will be pruning this one to get a bit of shape in the upper canopy. You can see on this one also, which is pretty good, there's a lot of spiders there. They're doing their thing, which can't be bad. So a lot of spiders around. Be nice if they ate the leaf miner, but they probably don't. But the main thing of this video is that it's growing up from one stem. It's roughly about half a metre above the ground where it first branches out. And yeah, it's doing okay. Hopefully it gets some new growth and gets a bit taller. Go to the next one. It's similar. It's been hammered by the leaf miner, but it's got some good leaves on it. No nuts on this one. It's a bit yellow, but maybe it'll come good with a bit more sun. Yeah, so we'll keep that one going. And next one down here, it's a lot smaller, but it's got a good shape and it's got a few new leaves on it, and hopefully it can keep going. It's got a better shape than what it had before. It's quite traumatic pruning the trees, knocking out a lot of growth, but based on what we've seen, it's worth it. Not sure whether it's a good idea to cut it so early. Maybe it's better to let it grow a bit bigger before you prune it. I'm not sure, but it's been done. But I think, for example, in the background, you can see the younger trees. They're a different variety. They're the MCT ones. You can see a dead one in the distance in the second row across. We may leave them and not prune them so early. Maybe they've sort of struggled a bit, the MCT ones. I think mainly due to the wet weather. We planted them in May of 2021, and ever since then, they had a bit of dry weather in around September, October of 2021, but ever since then, it's just been raining all the time. And it's a struggle for little trees, not just macadamia trees, when they're planted. Just excess water, just everywhere. 4 meters of rain this year, like, you can imagine that. It's crazy. This little tree, you can see here it's got a few nuts, which is great. It hasn't done a huge amount growth-wise. Let's have a look here. It's leaf curled over. Why is that? Is that a bug? I think it is, actually. Yeah. Can you see that? Yeah. Bug, or is it? Oh, it's actually the spine of the leaf. Okay, so it's not a bug. This tree here, it's sort of actually a bit too tall from where the first branches come out. So we may have made a mistake with that one. Maybe we can promote some branches coming a bit down lower. Hopefully it'll get some branches. This fellow here, it's okay, but yeah, again being hammered by the leaf miner. It's roughly about 2.5 meters tall, which is good height for the tree, and it's got the good shape. With about a meter up, or a bit under a meter, it branches out to a more of a sort of a bowl canopy, so that's good. And finally, this one down the bottom, it's struggling a bit of grass growing around it. Yeah, leaf miner, bit crap. Yes, but beside that, it's still going, and hopefully it'll pick up if the weather dries out. This La Nina finishes, the volcano in Tonga and all that. Hopefully we don't get another volcanic eruption in the Pacific Ocean. And yeah, so hopefully the weather dries out a bit. Yeah, so anyway, that's the end of this video. We've got to the end of the row. You can see the follow-up of the pruning. It has been overall a success. I don't think overall a success. It has been a success. So I would recommend for people with younger trees that are starting to branch out from the base to multiple stems, multiple trunks. What you're going to end up is getting a V shape down low in the tree, and that's always going to be a point of weakness later on. And in strong winds, a tree it's got a V shape with two trunks coming out of the base. That could be a danger in the future. And we've had one older tree which I think was like that, where one of the trunks broke. Yeah, so I'd recommend look at sort of pruning trees to get them up from the base, roughly 1/2 meter to 1 meter high before it stems out. So yeah, okay. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Thank you. Bye.